Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about the power of intention. I have manifested so many things, including a dream partner, pregnancy, a dream house in past 3 years, and I just want to share my success story and also how I make this intention and how I feel behind making this intention so that you can apply this to yourself. So, this is something that I've been doing for 3 years now, and my first very clear and strong intention that I made was in 2023. In the end of 2023, I thought, okay, I'm going to meet a person to marry to next year in 2024. And yeah, I'm going to find the one for me. Okay, so that was my intention for 2024, right? And I didn't need to get married or have a wedding by the end of the year, but I wanted to find a person to marry to by the end of the year, 2024, right? So I made that intention in the end of 2023 and started taking action toward it in January. And what happened was I met my husband in April. We got engaged in June on my birthday. We moved in together in July, officially got married in October. And in January 2025, we were in Italy traveling together as an honeymoon trip. So that was my 2024 intention, to find someone to get married to. And it's not really someone, it's really the one I'm supposed to get married, right? So that was my intention. And in 2025, my intention was to have a baby. And I didn't have to have baby in the end of 2025, but I wanted to at least get pregnant um, before the end of the year because it had been my dream to be a mom by 30. And I was turning to 29 that year. I found that I'm pregnant in the end of March, had my son in December. So by the end of the year, I actually already had my son here. Now he's almost 8 months old. So that was 2025 intention. And for 2026, our intention, and I'm saying our because it's not only my intention but also my husband's intention as well. We wanted to find a place to move in, like permanently. So we wanted to buy a place because after having our son in the end of 2025, we found a place we used to live very small for 3 people already. Even the baby was like this big. It felt a bit too narrow for 3 people. So our plan was to look for a good place to or area to live in, and maybe we're going to do that for half year, like first half year of 2026, and the rest of the 2026 we wanted to just visit a lot of houses and apartments and see if we want to move in. So that was our plan, right? And then we had these things that we wanted for our house, which was 4 bedrooms because we need my office, my husband's office, our bedroom, and my son's room. So we need 4 bedrooms. And we wanted the place to be close to the station so we can walk to the station and from my parents' house so it's easier to meet them up, and also close to elementary school, middle school, supermarket, and that was pretty much what we wanted. So I made that intention in the end of 2025 for 2026, right? And I remember it was like a New Year's party, aka my relatives meeting my son for the first time kind of party. So that was the second week of January in 2026. My relatives started talking about this one big apartment. They started talking about, oh, like now they finished building this apartment and that's huge and everything. And we were like, okay, like we were just listening, right? Didn't really pay attention either. And on the next day, my mom messaged me like, hey, after work, I got to see that apartment that we were talking yesterday. And it seems like they have 4 bedrooms. And I'm just gonna send you some pictures. So see if you like it or not, right? And yes, and then I was like, thank you. And then and I told my husband about it too. We were like, yeah, I mean, why not just going and see how they look like? Because eventually we want to compare a lot of apartments and houses and see what we like the most and what we need. Because when we know what we don't want, we know what we want, right? So it was us like just take a look at it, right? That was the end of January that we went to see that apartment. And we found out that the 4 bedroom room was a bit out of our budget, so we couldn't really afford that. Then we found that they actually have 3 bedrooms with one walk-in closet apartment, which is on our budget. And I was telling my husband, maybe I don't really need a like full room. I just need like a space where I have walls around me where I can put my desk and my laptop, and I don't really need more than that, right? And my husband's like, yeah, like if you are okay with that, right? Yes, I think now you can tell, but I'm in that walk-in closet that I was just talking about. We came to see this apartment in the end of January, applied for the mortgage in February, signed a contract in the beginning of March, got a key in the end of March, and moved in April. This place has 4 rooms, not bedrooms, but 4 rooms. So I have my office, my husband has his office, we have bedrooms, and we also have one empty room for our son to use later, right? And we can see elementary school from our balcony. We can walk to middle school, maybe it's like 10 minutes walk, and supermarkets are even closer, right? And we can walk to the station. We can also take a bus to go to another station, so we can actually use 2 stations. So that was good. And most of all, it's like 5 minutes walk from my parents' house. And I thought that finding the place around my parents' house really limits the place we can live in. And around this area, the houses and lands are getting more and more expensive. So I didn't really think that I could live in this area. But eventually, just everything just happened perfectly. And now we live in this new apartment. And we have been loving this so much. Yeah. So that was my intention for 2026. And it's July and I already live here. So that was my manifestation for 2026. So I've been so surprised by how I've been manifesting things this fast. Like it usually happened within 3 to 6 months, right? And it just kept proving me that it works, that I have even more confidence around manifesting things by just having one strong intention. So I really wanted to share this so that you can do it for yourself as well. And I wanted to share 2 things that I think it's important when making intention. Okay, the first one is making one strong intention. And I used to believe, and actually, my spiritual teacher, who taught me a lot of things, also suggested to make multiple intentions at the same time, small to big, in all areas of life. So, family, relationship, finance, your job, health, beauty, hobby, everything. That was something that I was suggested by this teacher, and I think that would work for her. But for me, at least for now, I really like to have one strong intention, and I make that intention, commit only to that thing for that year and that just manifest that fast. You can just make another intention after you get it done, right? So that's my suggestion. You can definitely do multiple ones. And I actually do have smaller intentions like, oh, my day will be amazing, or by the end of this session, both client and I feel amazing. I make these kind of small intentions every day, but like something that I really want to manifest would be just one strong intention. And how I really live after making intention is I do whatever I need to do or take action or to learn to get the thing, right? So when I was trying to find a person to marry to, I only consumed contents about getting married to someone or about relationship, right? When I was trying to be pregnant, I only consumed contents around getting pregnancy and raising baby and everything. I've done a lot of research. I just basically thought only about that, right? And that's how I manifested all of them. And the second key is actually much more important, I think, because I think you can have multiple intentions and manifest all of them. But without this thing that I'm about to talk about, maybe it's gonna get harder. And that is that your intention is almost like a decision. When I made this intention, it wasn't just an intention or my hope. Oh, I wish or I hope to have this person, or I hope to move to this place, right? It was more like a decision that I made that I'm going to find this person. I'm going to have a baby, or I'm going to find this place and move in. And what I was feeling behind this statement that I'm going to get this thing is that I won't give up until I get it. So I didn't see any goal without having them. Even though I felt law when manifesting them. So, for example, before meeting my husband, I met multiple people which didn't go well. And I feel like, is there really someone that is compatible with me? Right? And I had that kind of thoughts as well. But it didn't really change the way I see the goal or how I end up. At the end, I will be with this person for sure. And I just don't accept other reality. There was no choice for me to give it up or compromise about it. I was like, I'm just gonna keep take actions until I get it, right? So eventually that manifests, right? The feeling I get from this intention is really the decision. Like this is what I'm getting, right? And also for the pregnancy as well, there were a few months that I didn't get pregnant, and I started doubting my body. Like, am I able to get pregnant, right? Or will I ever get pregnant or something? But I didn't have the goal without a baby at all. So I just kept going, right? So I think that's very important. I think you can still have a negative thoughts, doubt about actually manifesting that thing, or just feeling depressed in general. Just have the goal there, not moving anywhere else. Just keep it there that you're going to get there, and just fix that future. And that's what I call an intention, or maybe decision. Since that we moved in this apartment in April, I was like, oh, I already got the apartment. And that was my intention for whole 2026. So what would I do next, right? And then so I started thinking, okay, for the rest of 2026, I'm going to find a daycare where my son can attend. So I have more time for myself making contents, doing what I love, and also work, right? And then that also happened within a month. And it's very hard to find a daycare lately in Tokyo because they made it free. So everyone who wants to work come to Tokyo and then try to find a daycare and then so that they can work, right? So it's been very, very hard to find one, but somehow I got it in a month. So it's already happened already. So I decided it's an intention for the rest of the 2026 again. And it's okay if it doesn't happen within 5 months because we only have 5 months. But maybe I will just manifest them all by the end of the year. I'm not sure. But my new intention is to meet up with my soul family. I think it's time to um, meet up with my soul family. So from now on, what I think in a day or all the actions that I take usually will be regarding to this intention, and I'll just keep going until I do. I assume that a lot of you that are my soul family are watching this. So I'm just very excited to see you sometimes in the future. It doesn't have to be right away. We will have the best timing to meet up. But that's what I'm believing, and see how I'm gonna be doing in a half a year or like next year around this time. Okay, that's gonna be the proof. So yeah, and that's all. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.